Yeah, let's start the show, man. I mean, we could just get right to it. We are professionals to some extent.
Welcome, one and all, to Kasson Avenue talk show, YouTube web series. That's what we'll call it. A web series.
Why don't you just...
This is episode number 197. I'm your host, Adam, here with my brother, Osama, and the dog is also here. His name is Benny, for those of you who are new. He's a little bulldog, he's a fat stature.
Do we have new people?
I don't know, but if we do, just in case, you know, or I don't know. We haven't had the camera low enough recently. So, like, if anybody came on new since we changed the view, they've never seen them.
That's pretty true. That's pretty true.
So I'll just describe them. You know?
As always, until it's completely done, it's gonna be free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Always. We will say it.
They say it until it's backwards, and it's a confusing statement for me. So
I sometimes I'm like, wait, till it's backwards. Oh, I guess that's true. That's how my usual reaction is. But like, I just free Palestine.
Yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely, 100,000%.
100% clear cut. They say you can't say. Listen, from the fucking river to the sea.
Yeah, man, get out here with your little bullshit about it's a call for Israel's eradication.
Dude, what are you calling for right now?
What of it?
How can you reason? How can your reasoning be for us not doing something to you? The same reasoning you're doing something to us.
Yeah,
right?
like, they want to do that to us, so we're just gonna do it to them. To make sure that doesn't happen.
This is ridiculous. They're like, it's like, yo, well, if we were just to stop, what do you think's gonna happen? It's like the bully who you're literally like, I get at a loss for words, and I start to like mumble and start to like say probably not unintelligible, but just things I prefer to like not say because you get angry, man.
Yeah, definitely.
But
do you have you heard or watched any of the videos from Mark Lamont Hill?
Yeah, that guy is going hard.
I would like to shout out that guy because that guy is awesome. He was
Appreciate that dude.
He did like a interview with a guy like David Lange or some shit like that is his name.
Recently, right? Like
yeah, he's like super Zionist guy.
Yeah,
like, whatever. He lives in Australia, but he's like super pro-Israel. And then obviously Mark Lamont Hill is very pro-Palestinian. Very he called himself a scholar in Afro-Palestinian studies. So he's, I guess, like the West Bank or Jerusalem is really like his specialty. But he's like very well versed in all the Palestine shit, right? So the main point of this is like you can really just tell like how much they get high on their own supply. Like they literally
they've drank everyone there has drank the same Kool-Aid out the same pitcher from the same batch with the same sugar, like
backwash all in it and shit. You bunch of nasty ones.
Yeah, it's almost that. Like let's give the first person had a mouthful and they just spit it back into the person behind them, and everybody's drank the same Kool-Aid literally.
It's really fucking disgusting.
I definitely would describe that and them as that. But they've all drank the same Kool-Aid, and for some reason, it's almost as if they are what's that shit they do? Hypnotize people, right? Like I don't know if that's
brainwashed.
You're brainwashed, but like almost to like you to the point where there's no. You bring up valid points, and it's just like no, they're taught to bring up another argument, right? It's deflection. It's classic deflection. It's what are you doing? Like how the fuck are you gonna you answer the question?
There's no way to have a regular like logical discussion. No, because they have like some weird way of spinning it that
their opinion. What the way
and when you have a good point to them, then they start getting frustrated with you, and they don't know how to talk now.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
The way that they. Everything they do is based on an irrationality. Like there's nothing rational about their thoughts.
For clarification, is these pro-Zionist so super Israel's.
We're not talking about Jews as a whole, right? Because there are great Jews and allies, as you got to call them nowadays, right? Because unfortunately, that's almost the way the world is being divided at this point, based on. Like, I think this is such an important topic because it really lets you know where people stand in their humanity or lack thereof.
That's why there's a few people who speak on the issue who I'll get a lot of my information from. Like, they'll speak on, like, recent, like, votes or whatever in the UN, like, recent resolutions and shit. And they'll, like, give you, like, in-depth analysis and show you, like, show you clips of basically, like, the highlights. And they just, like... they're more well versed in it than anybody I know personally. Like they literally invest their time and energy into just learning all of this shit and talking about it. And it's when you do it, then you become you cannot not be pro Palestine.
It's very hard to watch news clips and things like that, because when you watch it, you get really frustrated watching somebody who argues like a child but is in charge of a country, right? Like this is why the world is so crazy now, because if you think about it, you don't really give children too many really large responsibilities as they're at a young age, because you just don't trust them to make certain decisions. And yeah, we're going into a society now where they kind of allow that, which is also another crazy topic, but we're not there today. We're not there today. What I'm saying is, at a young age, children are not supposed to be making decisions, right? Because their logic is not there. Their argumentative skills are lacking.
Their ability to logic and reason.
They don't understand nuances of life, right? They just don't. So you don't allow them to run the country. A child can't run for the presidency, though I'd argue at this point they do just as good a job.
Yep.
They might not,
in comparison to any of these.
They'd fall just as much, right? They'd be just as coherent as they are on these are on the mic, right? This is what you hear. Like, it's a whole bunch.
This morning I saw Donald Trump's face on the news, and apparently when he got his spray tan, they missed like a good third of his face.
That's like a girl with the wrong she lacking some foundation somewhere.
I was like, somebody put his face in a pumpkin pie, and when he cleaned it, it just couldn't get all orange.
Well, listen, just to keep this topic, and then we can get off of it. They argue as if they're children, and they are logical as if a child as a child would be.
True.
And I know we use they a lot, but instead of just keep using the word, but it is Zionist. We gotta bring that up, but. I can't watch these interviews because all they do is make me angry and frustrated. You're just like, how are these people adults?
Who are good at pinning
how
them
do we live
corner?
on the same planet? What is going on?
The ones that are able to basically take control of those conversations and like pin them, and every time they have a stupid thing, they're like, oh well, this is exactly what I'm saying, and like then they feel stupid, and I like to watch that happen.
Also, we want to say fuck you to Instagram for. Kicking
fuck you, Instagram.
All the social media platforms that have
fuck Mark Zuckerberg
succumbed to these fucking these what do they call it? Requests for basically flagging content that isn't especially content that shows what's really happening in Gaza. They're trying to flag it so that you can't see it, and then they flag the accounts, and accounts have been taken down of very important people who are on the ground, man, that are risking their lives to show you exactly what's happening to their country, right?
If they did this shit in Ukraine, they'd have like the FCC all over the fucking social media companies.
I go back and forth about how I feel this is going to end, and I don't know at this point. Honestly, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know how the Arab worlds haven't come together at this point. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand.
There was somebody who I watched who like shed some light on why they won't get involved.
I mean, I guess I understand it.
Well, also they're saying that Hamas told like Hezbollah not to get involved. They're like, we got it. Like, don't come in here.
Well, I don't know how true that is right now.
I don't know either, but I do know that like to some degree it makes sense for Lebanon to like.
I think they're doing a good job. But do you remember? And it's a false equivalent because this is a whole other topic. But this is like you could probably sympathize, because I feel like maybe empathize is a better word, because I feel like you've been in this type of situation on a court. You remember do you remember when
if this is insulting, I'm gonna.
Do you remember in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they were on the basketball team and everybody was praising Will? Right? In this situation, Will would be me. Right? And then you, being Carlton, were really, really jealous of that, right? Like, this situation never really happened with us, but it would happen. It's happened to Adam sometime. So Carlton, do you remember that Carlton took the ball and did Will fall? Right? Didn't he wrestled it from him and like Will fell? If I'm remembering correctly, all I remember is Carlton took the ball and at the last second launched it. Now the way he threw it, we all knew that it was
That was not a basketball shot.
He threw it like a football. Now the problem with that is he was at like maybe 4 or 5 feet behind the 3-point line. What is that, like 27 feet, 25 feet?
Halfway between
back then. Back then it was a little bit closer, actually, from what I understand. Anyway, he threw that ball with such ferocity. Right,
ferocious.
Right, and he hit the wall behind the backboard.
Just bounced off
hard
that
as
board.
hell. From somebody that I'm sure that's done that before. How did that feel?
Never.
Anyway.
Don't even disrespect my game. First of all, the fact that you even do something like that, even disrespect my ability on the court, is outrageous.
Do you not understand? I'm trying to get you to play basketball again.
Listen, man, I told you.
The only way to do that is to defend or offend a man's honor.
Did you just call me a pussy?
If you're not a bitch, you know what I mean? I don't know where we were coming from with that. Why I took that.
Yeah, I don't know why you did either.
But anyway, I will like to say this. I've become a lot more grateful of things nowadays.
There's a sense of like when you're doing something that's just regular run of the mill that you would take for granted, and it's just like I get to go and fucking sleep in my bed when I'm tired, you know, like that type of shit. It just like you feel a different way about it.
Yeah,
in all of this,
the comfort that you are allowed and privileged to have should not be taken lightly. Like if you, I posted something on Facebook and Instagram. Like most of those posts go hand in hand. Like I'll put one on the other, you know, or vice versa. If I put one up, and I put something that said I know I keep posting it, but I only do it because if I'm worried that if I don't, others won't, and you'll forget, right? So essentially, I got to keep posting. You know, it's just I don't know. It's a crazy thing because I think as long as you keep it, I keep it in your mind, there's a chance that like at some point it'll beat in your head like, damn, dude, honestly, this is truly happening. And it should be then a reminder because if like I've been waking up in the morning and thinking about the fact that like, oh shit, it's quiet. There's no bombs dropping, right? I have a bed. I'm comfortable.
When you hear like a loud like type of plane going by, you know that it's just a fucking plane, you know, like that's
it's weird. On the way here there was a like they were tearing down a building, and the way it looked like something had been bombed, right? And it just kind of like hit me for a second because I go, oh shit,
yeah,
you know, like that's what
there's only so long that you can go about your day without like a thought about it popping into your head, you know, like it's minutes, you know.
That warm shower, be grateful of it, right? Yep. You know, try not to waste.
You got a bunch of food in your house.
I think this is a reminder, man. Unfortunately, the Gazan people have become martyrs almost as a whole for the world to wake up and understand, like, yo, it's bigger than what the fuck, like all the shit that's going on in the Sudan, right? And the Congo, where they're looking for that fucking resource that gives us the lithium
nickel,
batteries,
nickel.
Lithium batteries, right? And
and it sucks because like, you know, you don't want those things to ever be overshadowed either, and it gets less attention obviously because like Israel's not involved in that part of things.
I think there's not as much direct footage coming from there, though it doesn't demean it or belittle what's going on there. It's just that's the case. There's not as much footage coming, so it's not as evident. But I think the fact that Gaza is bringing light to bringing a light to people that have been occupied, you know, for quite some time, you know, and oppressed, that it's becoming more and more mainstream to think about this. And I hate using that word, but I guess that's the right way to put it, is becoming more mainstream. And if you look, a lot more people are thinking about it, a lot more artists, everybody is fighting for it. The world has woken up quite surprisingly, actually. I didn't anticipate that.
If people would report the way that Al Jazeera would report and give you like, because they literally like, we have World News Tonight. We used to be with Peter Jennings, now who is David Muir or some shit like that. So they're not actually covering like the important world
they're
news
not.
stories.
They're
Like
just covering what
all
they've
these
been
things
told to
are
cover.
more important than any of the other fucking bullshit that you be talking about.
Like Piers Morgan. Like,
So if you go to like Al
he
Jazeera,
covers it,
those-
but he just be fucking.
Yeah.
The reporters have no skill. Will you condemn Hamas? Like, dude, do you condemn what's happening the last 42 days? Like,
Yep.
it doesn't justify the other. And now reports are coming out that it was the Israeli army that had hit a lot of the people at that festival because they weren't sure who was who, and they were shooting indiscriminately. And then they're saying that there's a chance that even Hamas didn't even know that festival was going on. You know what I mean? So, you know what, man?
Well, the Western media will do what they can to paint things a certain way. That's why, like, again, you're getting news sources that aren't localized, that aren't, bought out and have like a certain narrative that they want to show. Al Jazeera, I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure that they have biases.
Yeah,
of course, but they report on things. Even if they report on one side from a biased point of view, you get the entire picture.
you see it.
And they interview people from both sides. They literally. That's the thing. You see it. There's visibility. You don't know what's going on in the Congo. Even if they're like, oh, I support the oppressors on that side of things. Even if they said that, which they don't, by the way, that they would still. Now people know that there's something happening in the Congo that maybe they should look at. Like,
isn't it almost an admission of guilt to want them to not show what's really going on? Right? If you have nothing to hide, wouldn't you just say, yes, show everything? Put cameras on the ground. Why are you killing the press if you have nothing to hide? Because
and why are you trying to censor the only person who's giving another perspective, which is Al Jazeera?
Dude,
That's like the only people that they targeted.
Going forward, I truly believe they've lost. They have.
Yeah.
Because the world has completely changed its view on you. Like, not only did it didn't change, confirm this view of what you are, right? And what you stand for.
Israel and Zionists.
Yes. And it's changed a lot. Like, I believe that the U.S. blocked the bill sending like $14 billion there. So if they don't get resources from us and they keep going hard at because they're talking about they want to start wars with fucking a couple of the other countries in Lebanon and all that, right? For whatever reason, they're talking about they want to do that. I think you're going to you're going to spread yourself very thin, and you're underestimating your opponent, which is a very, very big what is it? I think it's in one of the 48 laws of power. You don't underestimate your opponent.
Well, here's the thing too, though. Any other
opponent,
any other group that is like hostile towards them or whatever, vice versa, they're watching this right now and they're seeing what you're capable of, and they're preparing for it in case they're like. There's just a lot that I think they're so arrogant about that they think that they're. And the United States, I've watched enough videos of former military veterans, former like Pentagon people who are like, the United States does not have the capability to do all this shit. So like, that's the reason why when they initially brought those ships into the Mediterranean, they were like, the idea is hopefully by showing this we can divert any further escalation.
It was like call your bluff, essentially.
Because essentially they're not able to go full scale. Like they can't. It physically cannot. Like it's not a possibility. And they said like, even if they went against Hezbollah and Iran, like the United States would not have. They most likely would lose that. So that's like, they're I don't know, man. This whole thing, is fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. But leave Gaza the fuck alone.
Honestly, at this point, just kind of like, fucking let it be.
And not just Gaza, obviously Palestine as a whole, because
dude,
the West Bank is going through a lot of shit right now dealing with these people.
Exactly. Certain countries are actually starting to say that they'll recognize Palestine as a state, as a Palestinian state, right? Which is good because it's starting to say that what's really happening is.
Well, there's a bunch of them that recognize Palestine, but there's like there's a few less that actually recognize Israel, because not every country recognizes Israel either. So
you can't recognize something that's not real.
It's not a state. It's like literally a colonial settler project. That's what it is.
Yeah, like y'all didn't even build it. You just took what was there.
Yep.
Like, and I dare somebody to challenge me on that, because I'm tired of these fucking people like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's our land. God gave it to us. Really? Really? God gave it to you?
Nobody owns the water. It's God's water. Like that's how they sound. Like fucking trying to rationalize it.
They say something along the lines of like, "Oh, Jesus was a Jew and he was born there," but like, yeah, but Jesus wasn't the first fucking person born.
And Jesus was also killed by the Jews, and Jesus
Yeah, like
was
wait a
also
minute, like so what's your argument here, really?
it's also argued that he was Palestinian.
Yeah. Regardless of that, I don't care.
Well, that just means that it was Palestine in those days.
Yeah, I mean,
It goes that far back in that.
dude, plenty of other races are born here in America. It doesn't mean that there's not more. It's not America.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are we speaking
It's
about?
like it's like if you were talking about like the population has now like, oh, there's more Italians in the United States than there are, and then we change the name to address that, and then when the population shifts to more Asians, then we're gonna like that's not how things work.
That's not how countries operate. This is not how international law works.
And the fact that they like that's their favorite thing. We're not breaking international law. Like, fucking, what are you talking about?
This is what they're taught inside those walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take a second and we'll come back and we'll pot about some funny stuff, hopefully.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we go, I just want to get. We don't have to talk about it too much, but I want to say, fuck Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
You are aging terribly, by the way, very badly.
And fuck Van Jones.
Wait, hold on. Amy Schumer, you used to be fat, but you're not. But I could tell because you still have fat chipmunk cheeks. Sarah Silverman, fuck you. Seinfeld, I loved you before, but still, fuck you. Yeah, that's my fuck you list for this week.
Yeah.
Big fat ass fucking cheeks, bitch.
It's the roast of Michael Scott. Oh, hi people. So you have entered the funny part of the podcast. I was gonna say the comedy, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with it. So anyway,
I understand. I caught you off guard. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
So we were just talking about like a big cleaning mode that I had gotten into. Right, like I was trying to get rid of all the nasty in my room. So I fucking vacuumed everything. I dusted everything real deep clean. Washed all the fabric shit in there possible, including clothes and bedding.
How often do you clean your bedding? Are you gonna
maybe
don't lie?
Sometimes twice a week, at least
Really?
once a week.
Oh wow! Because you got the dog with you.
Yeah, the dog is.
Yeah. That's an accelerator of all things.
Yeah, so that shit gets washed regularly.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that being a thing. All right, that's cool. I think like once a week is good. But if you got a dog and he out there doing his slobbering thing, man.
Yeah, not only that, he slobbers, he sheds. Definitely, he'd be just like farting all hard,
all over your bed, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So,
yeah, I'm a proponent of letting dogs sleep in the bed. I know a lot of people don't. I don't know how you can have a dog and just watch him and he just wants to be in your bed and you don't let him.
He just wants to love you. Like I'm not
for how many years? Let's say you got a dog for 15 years. Like, no, you can't sleep in my bed. You're never really truly friends. I think.
Do you even love your dog?
Yeah, I don't think you really love your dog. Like
crazy.
if you don't allow your dog to sleep in your bed, and it's crazy. You know what's funny? Our parents don't allow it. They used to, but they did the carpet upstairs and they didn't. They stopped letting him do it.
It's true.
Yeah.
But their dogs, while I love them, they are not very well potty trained. I feel like they're not like with him. I know for sure.
I think they're so small that their bladders and their
they do a really bad. Like literally, they'll go outside and pee, and then they'll come inside and just pee. I had to pee more. Still,
I didn't realize I needed to pee more. It was time coming down. You ever been in the bathroom in in the public, like at a urinal, and like the flow hasn't come yet?
At least once,
At least one time. No, and then you're just standing there and the flow hasn't come yet. Right? Do you ever feel how long does it generally take for you?
I just immediately went to the movie Waiting.
You did?
He's trying to pee in there and he's like he has a shy penis.
Have you ever had stage fright?
He's like, I don't hear any pee.
So I experience stage fright from time to time in the bathroom, right? Like I don't know why. I just don't want you walking behind me, man.
When I'm gonna take a shit in public, I try to do very, very sparingly, by the way. But if I'm in that situation, then I'll be a little bit more.
If I'm taking a shit in public, it's at work.
It's just because I know, I'm not trying to be in there all crazy. There's a lot of fart happening. So sorry, but there's that there's no noise when I'm about to pee. I don't give a fuck. And plus, I have to stand here and pee. What the fuck do you want from me?
Well, listen,
why do you get stage fright?
So I've experienced. Here's an extreme.
Shy penis?
Here's an extreme version of stage fright, and why it happened, I have no clue. So we went to a Chicago Fire game, and me, Max, and some other people, and we at halftime we were like, yo, we got to take a piss. So did everybody else. So,
you guys went for
so
a
we
group
walked
piss.
down the stairs, right? And there's so many people. Let me tell you, there's like 10 urinals. There's lines of men, right?
Yeah.
At least 10 to 20 deep. Like,
The whole lot of fucking piss in one spot.
not only it just
Whole lot of
I
fucking-
went to the urinal, right? And I pulled my dick out.
Like a man dick?
Like a man dick. I pulled my dick out and I went and I was like, I stood at that urinal, right? And I realized at some point I wasn't gonna pee. I was like, I'm just not. I was like, it feels like I'm being watched trying to take a pee because everybody's just waiting for the next guy to be done. So everybody's looking down the line, right? And intentional or not, it feels like they're watching you take a piss.
I feel like if I was behind you and I, like, for whatever reason, just knew, like, you weren't able to go, I would
This
definitely...
guy's not taking a
I'd be
piss.
like, I don't hear any pee.
And I'll turn around and punch you.
And hopefully people
Like,
have seen...
I get stage
hopefully
fright.
people have seen waiting, so they can laugh at that.
I had gotten
you know?
stage fright peeing. I didn't get stage fright punching. I will like turn around. I will put my dick in my pants, zip up properly because you don't want no accidents.
Like, I feel like the only time that might happen is if I'm like, if it's like a unisex bathroom, like let's say in a college might have where the women and men are just mingling into the bathroom same times. Like that might stop me from peeing a little bit if there's like, you know, a chick that I mean, find to be, you know, attractive at the time, and I'm like, peeing here is not really the way I want this intro
if
to
a
go
girl
down.
was in the bathroom,
It's not the intro, the way I want the intro to
did
go
you
down.
just say if a girl was in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Why would a girl be in the
I
bathroom?
just said, do you listen to the first how I prefaced that?
So listen,
I literally gave you the reason.
we were in. Oh, so when we were in Mexico last, right? One of the bathrooms, the women still cleaned the bathroom while you were in the bathroom. I was taking.
I'm in here taking a shit,
I went
lady.
I went to the urinal and I'm like just peeing and she's just walking around behind me. I was like, you know, in America.
She just keeps her head down and fucking clean. Does her job, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, she smiled. Like I got away. I walked away from the urinal. She's like, "Hey," and I was like, "This is weird, but hello, how are you?"
I'd have depped her up like, "What's up, lady?" I ain't washed my hands yet.
Don't worry. I held my dick with my other hand. But so that experience, I remember I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to just stand here for the appropriate amount of time of how long I would think that somebody's going to take a piss for, right? I think I stood there for...
Was that like 27 seconds?
I don't know, man. That's another thing.
Do you have to account for taking your belt apart and then, like, you know?
Sometimes pees vary. Sometimes I feel like I've had to pee really bad, and when I go to the bathroom, it's not that much. It just needed to come.
It's just...
At some point, it's just like I got to
It's just a feeling, you know?
Yeah. It's just a feeling. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but I mean...
I made that up.
Do your thing,
I
guess.
made that up.
You know? What key was that in?
I don't know, man. More than a feeling. Isn't that a song?
I don't know. The song more. There's a song that's more than a feeling. It's really different from what you're doing.
I don't know that culture of music so well.
I only learned it because of Dave and Zach. It's like there.
So that also leads me to ask you,
We kinda got
do you
completely away
never
from the
get
cleaning
stage fright?
thing. No.
So you
I'm a man.
no like
I have a dick in my pants.
okay, not stage fright, but more or less the flow to come, right? Like once the flow comes when the flow wants to get out.
Yeah, sometimes isn't that, I don't want to call that stage
Is there?
fright.
Have you ever?
Sometimes I'm just waiting for
Have
the
you
flow.
ever waited for the flow so long you decided, well, I guess I'm not gonna pee now?
I'll come back to this. We can go brush my teeth or something.
and also,
Maybe if I keep the faucet running while I brush my teeth, it'll spark the whole.
yeah. Oh, sometimes like I'm waiting and then somebody goes to wash their hands and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, and it's just like. Sometimes I go and it's like automatically. And I'll say as I've gotten older, that thought has like stopped crossing my mind so much. You know,
I think like
maybe I'm oversharing. I don't know.
maybe no. I mean, hey, listen,
197
listen,
episodes.
share with your audience. You know, let them know when your penis has a problem.
My penis
it's
has
fine.
no problem.
Well, I mean, in the capacity
it was my mind, I guess.
in the capacity of having to pee. You know, like
Well-
I think what you're describing is not stage fright.
I think it's like
I think it's just like
Here's what
I'm
it
waiting
is.
for the flow to come. You know,
here's
like
what it is. You ever
that's the thing. People just
you know
wait
how you have
for
a
the flow.
hose and you connect it to your
So you
house?
saying you got a kink in the hose?
No, there's no kink. What I'm saying is when it's like a free flowing hose. Firstly, all right.
Okay, so the hose is working fine.
But
it's not pinched anywhere.
It hasn't been connected yet. You connect it. It hasn't been on. You point the nozzle.
Like the water comes out dirty at first.
No. The water doesn't come out right. You turn it on and you start pulling. The water doesn't come that fast. It's got to make its way through the hose, right?
Yeah.
So maybe what I'm saying is the hose is a little long and it takes a while for the.
So you're trying to counter my joke.
This is a big dick joke.
It was a joke. See what you're trying to do there.
This is a big Johnson joke.
I see what you're trying to do there, but small Johnson jokes are way funnier. So
yeah, they are. They are. Luckily, this wasn't one. But so that concept, maybe like, all right, it wasn't there because it was like, all right, we know that you're not letting us pee just yet. But when you get to the toilet, maybe when you're like, all right, you get there.
I feel like I have the opposite problem than that. I feel
you're
like
peeing before
no. No, what I'm saying is,
I gotta pee so bad.
What I'm saying is like we're sitting here, right? And
what
I'm
did Aziz say? It's everywhere.
like, come on, everything.
Come everywhere.
So I'm saying like we're sitting here, right? And I'm like, oh, let me pause the pod because I gotta go.
That's hilarious.
And pee real fast, right? I've had it where I will get into the bathroom, and because I'm at the point where I'm gonna pee, like all of a sudden the feelings intensifies a little bit. You know, like if I'm chilling here for an hour, it'd be cool. But because I went to the bathroom, it's like I know I'm in the environment in which I do what I got to do. It's like instinctual. You know
how it's cold. Well, okay, but what about when it's cold?
It's like animal brain kicks in.
Animal brain.
Animal brain.
Okay. Well, my thought is that it's hilarious to have to even when I can't, even when I'm waiting and I'm not peeing, I'm like, this is probably pretty funny. And then you get self conscious, like this guy knows I'm not peeing. This guy over there knows I'm not peeing right now.
Just like certain things just remind me of. So Family Guy, right? They're talking about they're making fun of Carter, Lois's dad in that show, right? And they were like, now I'm gonna go and take a slow old man pee. So he's like, lets a little bit out, ow, a little bit out, and every time he's just a little bit. He can control it, but it hurts.
No, that's not what we're gonna talk about right now. We're talking about going to a public. When I go to my house, man, I could fucking.
I can pee with the best.
As soon as my dick comes out, I'm like, all right, ready to pee, like a fucking champ. Just talking about in public restrooms where it's just like, all right, I haven't been here before. The dick's never seen this urinal before. You got to think about that.
The pee problem is not a problem.
If he's truly part of you, right? And you when you pull it out, he's like, and he's got some sort of conscious. Well, he's never seen He's never seen this urinal before.
Yeah, but he's seen a urinal before. He knows what to do there.
This wasn't this. We haven't been in this one, right? All right, give me a second here. I gotta adjust to what this is.
He's seen one. He knows what. Like we've been using urinals since fucking what? I went to preschool.
Think of him. Think of what he does as a heat-seeking missile, right? And he's got to hone in a second before he gets there. That's all.
Yeah, but there's no heat there.
How do you know?
Because I'm sure the water's probably at best lukewarm.
What, the pee water?
No, before you pee. Like you go to the urinal, the water.
I said he's a heat-seeking missile, not the.
Yes, but what I'm saying is you have to.
Oh, that's
seek
true.
Heat.
It needs heat. Yeah, maybe it's a lukewarm seeking missile. Either way,
that sounds like a real stupid. Hard stop on that.
Wait, I was asking a serious question.
No. I mean, listen. I respect the honesty. You know, my thing is like not. I don't have an issue having to take a piss. I do not want to have to take a shit because I have a very big thing where like if your ass was on this seat.
Well, how often do you don't even
like
leave
in my
your
house? Listen, man, I've lived a long time.
I'll be
34 next month. I've been around long enough.
You said
to have this.
What do you? You're seriously in the car sometimes? Like I got to stop and take a shit. I can't wait to get home.
Like if I'm out somewhere.
You're a grown ass man.
I'm not saying if I'm in the car. If I'm headed home, great, no problem.
Where are you at that you
like if I'm in a place, let's say I'm at a fucking function.
Talking about like your bowels just say, hey.
Yeah, and it's like, excuse me, dog. And I'm like, I don't want to do that here.
You can't leave?
You know? Let's say I live far away from where I'm at. I don't know. In a situation in which you have to take a dump.
Keep it tight ass, Day.
I don't know, man. You know, I don't travel with Pepto-Bismol and shit. So.
I don't like Pepto-Bismol.
Hey, man, listen, I'll tell you, it gets it done. It gets it done when you need it.
Yo, that shit is disgusting.
Nobody likes it, you know? But like sometimes you just need it.
No, man.
Get
Just
the bubble
eat Tums.
guts.
Honestly,
You get the BGs.
I take that. I take that medication, and though I don't really care for taking medication, I take one in the morning, and it allows me to not have to worry about Tums or fucking Pepto Bismol. Tastes like
It's only for those occasions where you know what I mean. Like
it just like coats
got, like,
everything
issues.
on the way down. This is like all right.
Let's say you didn't make the best food decisions the night before. In the morning, you wake up, you got the bubble guts. That's when it's good. You know.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm just saying. It's just like it serves a purpose to some degree.
All right.
So
So does jogging.
Does it though?
No, I mean it does because cardio, but jogging's pretty funny.
People who jog are funny.
Why does everybody who jog wear short? Okay, here's a question. Why is everybody wearing short shorts to jog? I understand the free.
It's often a very old white man.
I understand like the idea of the freedom of yourself, right? Like, my body can breathe, but I don't know.
It's about having your full range of motion. You know, that's why they wore it in the NBA in the 80s.
Maybe because joggers. Okay, so you know the difference between like joggers and sprinters. Like sprinters have like larger quads and everything, and joggers tend to have like slimmer legs.
Sure.
Maybe. All right. So what I'm asking is, right? Like, if I were to run on a consistent basis, I would be worried about chafing of the legs, right? Like I'm not. Like
I mean,
I don't have
put some baby powder on you.
I ain't got small thighs, if you will, right? Like I'm not like saying
you ain't got a thigh gap.
well, I mean, like it takes. I'm saying you know.
There's way they
the
usually
reasoning behind the fact
they
that
usually put Under Armour on to avoid the chafe.
like you ever seen like a girl put
So that
like,
means that you have
deodorant on the side of her legs, so like when she's walking, they don't chafe. They just kind of like.
I don't think that that's a very good idea. You know,
I don't either, but I
think like what they do is they probably got like some fucking I don't know, whatever draw choice they rock, and then they have the fucking Under Armour, and then they have the short shorts. It's a lot of layers.
Who?
The runners.
No, I'm talking about the runners that ain't. You can. Nobody has.
You
that.
said that the chafe would be a problem. I'm saying that they use like fucking spandex to avoid that.
But I'm saying like they're not even really addressing the issue. The shorts aren't short enough. I mean, long enough.
Listen,
there's too short.
You already know enough about how to avoid it as a runner. You already know. You played basketball your whole life. If you played, let's say you go to
when I play basketball, I prefer to have the long boxer brief.
Well, maybe they definitely have something that they use.
You know why? Because the long boxer brief stays where it's supposed to, and the microfiber ones, man, them motherfuckers be like they be almost basically compression shorts. They
are important for basketball, I think.
I think playing
Keep your dick in
sports
place,
with the right equipment is a very underrated thought, right? You can't. I'm gonna go in
Which
there.
is a surprising thing. Why would that be underrated? Like,
yeah, I remember back in the day, like, all right, we're gonna play ball, cool. I don't got no shoes, but I got these Timberlands. Guess I'm gonna just run in these fucking boots all day. Timberlands weigh 12
or a fair
pounds
share of
apiece.
Asians that I have seen or know who have played in sandals. You know, they be out there with fucking Jesus sandals on and a big toe hanging out, and then running up and down the court doing layups and shit. I'm like, all right, man, see you
Doing layups and shit.
They got to jump.
Yeah, man, y'all are,
jumping in sandals.
Sounded like you just described the WNBA.
They don't play in
running up and down the court doing fucking layups and shit. Listen, all right, that was a good joke. I'm not gonna lie, but all right, I do want to put this out there. I don't necessarily hate the WNBA. I like basketball.
The fact that you had to start with, I don't necessarily hate them. I just think like if they didn't televise their games, it probably...
No, listen. I like basketball a lot. I'm just like,
that's
okay.
Fucking funny.
So let's qualify this by saying I don't even really watch the NBA anymore. It's really not fun to watch.
I'll say this because of the fact that I have Max, like this.
Yeah, I saw yesterday. I was like,
I was
shit,
able to see a few
games,
but I haven't seen a single Bulls game. It hasn't been on TV. Like, what the fuck, yo?
The Bulls are trash anyway. They're about to let go of Zach LaVine, who's also been like an unsuccessful story here. We also like think about it. Like, how old is what's his name? Fucking buddy from DeRozan.
DeMar. He's probably like
he's not young.
32, I would say.
32 seems like he's older. I think he's older than 32.
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Well, either way, how long has he been playing the game?
It's been a minute.
Because it seems like nothing.
He was with Toronto for a long time.
He was. I don't know. I think the Bulls always are going to be in constant rebuild mode. I think
Probably like 12, 13 seasons.
the
in,
Bulls
I would
have
say.
bad basketball karma because of what Jerry Krause did to the whole team in '98.
Damn you. Fuck you, Jerry Krause.
I really believe that. I think that because of the fact that they did that, they basically chased out the championship team before they were even close to being beaten, right? They had the chance to fucking go again, and you somehow decided because of ego that you wanted to get rid of them because, for what reason? Like because you didn't get along with the coach. The coach was winning. You're not. Your job isn't to get along with the coach. The coach's job is to get you fucking wins, and you're supposed to be happy with that, right? Not be sad that it's not being given you credit. Rest in peace to Jerry Krause because you were an integral part of it, but you were also an asshole, man. Right? Like at the same time, you should be like. Because of that, because of it being pushed out, I believe the basketball gods have given bad karma to the Bulls, and
Hey, man, basketball guys, come on, man.
look at what, dude. I mean, we got close.
We're still cool.
We got
We're still
close. We got close.
Yeah.
And then look what happened. So we had bad karma
I don't even
because
like to
they
think
pushed
about it,
it.
man.
They pushed out the whole team in one fucking offseason, right after the third peat. I mean, the third win of a second three-peat.
When I think about the fact that it very easily could have been a whole decade of domination, it just upsetting, you know. Four more could have very easily happened. Not very easily, quote unquote, because I'm not going to downplay the work it took to be as dominant as they were. But they could have definitely done four more. They were like there's prime years available for four more. They could have done the two in between the three peats. And they could have done the two after the second three-peat. I believe that.
Idealistically, I would like to think so. Realistically, probably not. I would say.
Why would you think probably not?
I would say there's a good chance that they win one or they would. Listen, it's really if Michael Jordan.
If he didn't retire in between the three-peats, it would have.
I look at him as a basketball god. You know that.
But those would have been ours.
But I really would find, dude, for somebody to win 8 straight, possibly 9. Here's my argument.
You came back
I don't
won.
Let's before we talk about the 94-95, okay? Let's talk about the 1998-99 season. The Bulls would have won that. Here's why. It was a lockout season. I believe it was 58 games, I think. Mm-hmm. Lockout NBA season. The Bulls would have done well in those 58 games because they just come off a win. That means they're coming off 3.
They would have even gotten tired yet.
That may have been
like 58 games.
That probably would have been the last one they won. It would have been, dude. We would have had a 4-peat, 7 championships total. I think we could have won that, but Jerry Krause, before that even happened, dismantled the team, right? And then, so if we go back to 94-95, the Houston Rockets win 2 in a row.
Only because the Bulls were lacking the GOAT who's on the team. I think breaks a break.
They tend to think that they would have won. I think the Bulls win because the will of Michael Jordan, regardless.
You're going against Mike in his prime, in a team that has all the confidence in the world. There's no way. I don't see a way where if he didn't retire that they didn't win.
Yeah. Maybe.
I just don't. I don't know.
I like to think he would have won them too. They would have been more difficult because winning again.
I wouldn't be so convinced if he didn't come back and
they
then
say
win
winning,
again.
They say winning the second time is harder than winning the first time, and I believe that you compound that every year afterward. I think
his first full season back, they won again, and then
I'd like to think they would have won too, but they might.
And then they had the record for the best season.
So
that came right
here's
after
the issue, right? Here's my argument.
I would have to see it happen
right now,
lose to be convinced otherwise. To be honest,
right now, Michael Jordan is undefeated in the finals. Mm-hmm. He never lost.
Wow.
Now,
yeah,
what if he played those 2 years? Right. He wins one, loses the other in the finals. Right now, Michael is 7-1 in the finals instead of 6-0. Which would you prefer? No, I'm sorry. Is it 7-1? Yeah, 7-1.
So you think he would have went to the finals and he would have lost? Is what you think?
I'm saying I don't.
Or you
I
think
never,
that was it could have been a possibility?
it being a possibility, right?
I don't think.
No. Like I'm just asking in the hypothetical. If this happens,
We're also talking about a man who's never been to a game 7 in the finals. I don't think they would have lost.
Putting 2 more straight, meaning 8 straight on him, is a lot. So all I'm asking in this hypothetical is MJ being 6-0 in the finals or 7-1. Which do you prefer? You get the question I'm asking, right?
So like if they won
So
one, lost one in
MJ
the
is
years
currently
that he
6-0.
retired.
Currently 6-0. He retired. He's retired. He's not been beaten in the
So
finals.
94, 95, he wins 94, loses 95.
Or vice versa, what have you, right?
Well, that makes a difference because one is 4 in a row and then one is. Well, I guess either way they're 4 in a row. On one side or the other.
Yeah. So let's say he becomes 7-1 in the finals. What and then instead of 6-0, what are you willing to give up a 6-0, meaning an undefeated track record in the finals, or losing once to get the 7th?
It just doesn't seem like a likely scenario for me.
It doesn't. But what I'm asking you is what your preference is as a Michael Jordan fan, as a Bulls fan from the 90s.
I think I can eat the one loss if they go 4 in a row, and then obviously do another 3 in a row.
Okay. Now
They're still talking about
here's
the most
the possibility.
dominant run in a decade.
A possibility. Here's a possibility. Because of that loss, the team gets dismantled before.
Well, you can't throw that in there.
Well,
because that happened.
It's a possibility. They got dismantled after losing, after never losing. So imagine if he would have came up with a reason to dismantle them earlier enough.
But they went to the finals. I don't think that would have happened.
Maybe, maybe not.
Even if they lost, they just won 4 in a row.
But I'm saying, what if they lost their the 5th one in a row?
I think if they didn't make it to the finals, that would be a likely scenario where they would be dismantled. But I don't think that making it to the finals would get them dismantled the next year.
Okay, but in this scenario, it's a chance because you got to acknowledge that it's a possibility with a guy like Jerry Krause. So
there's just so many ifs in this thing.
It is a lot of ifs.
I already don't think that they would have lost those.
The if was already if they would have won those 2 if he was playing.
Yeah.
So we're playing this game now. So play the game.
I'm playing the game. I'm telling you
saying,
that
I just want to know what you prefer. You telling me that you would rather you can eat a loss to get one more ring?
If that,
do you know?
If
do
that
you
3P
think
also
MJ
still
could do
exists, if that 4 exists and the other 3 exists, and I tell you this much: if they lost that one and he came back, I don't think we would have stopped at another 3 in a row. I think that there would have been a fire lit under his ass that they would have gone another 4.
Yeah, but
we would have had 2 4-peats in a row.
It wasn't. It was him coming back was predicated on Phil Jackson coming back, and Phil wasn't coming back because Jerry Krause said no matter what. He said you guys can go 82-0, and I'm still not bringing you back.
But as the competitor that he is,
that MJ wasn't coming back. There's no way he was going to get back. He wasn't coming back.
Okay, let's
without
pretend
Phil.
Jerry Krause got fired or went to a different organization and he didn't exist there. How different is things looking without a Jerry Krause?
I still don't know if they win the 2 more in the middle. I think they still win the next season after 98. If they
I don't understand why you would believe that they have why are they likely, or why is there a decent chance that they would lose one of those 94, 95 seasons? Is it because Houston was that good and they were going to have that to come up against?
I just think it's hard to win 4 in a row. How many people have won
every
4 in a row?
season is a new season.
Nobody's won 4 in a row, have they?
No, I don't think so.
I think maybe, let me see. I think we were probably wrong there. So let me check that.
Maybe Wilt. Probably Wilt, if anybody. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Listen, I see no way that they're losing those 2 years. I think prime players, obviously the chemistry is at a peak. They're just not. There's no scenario. If his father never gets murdered, it's a completely different outlook, I think.
I would love to believe that he's going to win, but what I'm saying is it worth the possibility of him being defeated, or keep it for him to have that extra one?
So you're saying would I play the odds on that?
Yeah,
for sure. If I was putting the money on MJ, and
I always put money on MJ.
I
don't gamble, but I would always put money on MJ. I couldn't really find definitive. I think only a few players really have 4-peated. A lot of people have 3-peated, but 4 is a lot. I always bet on MJ, but I'm asking you as a fan, would you be willing?
If I had to gamble,
would you be willing? No. As an accepting of it, right? Knowing that one of our bragging rights is he's never lost in the finals. Also, he's never been to a game 7 in the finals. That's part of the bragging rights of an MJ fan. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This motherfucker never lost in the finals.
But also the bragging rights that get lost.
7-1 don't sound as good.
The bragging rights that also get lost is all of the fucking shit that he did. All the records he set were done in a lot shorter of a period of time.
Of course. But
that's why it's important.
Part of it.
That's why I'll never give LeBron GOAT shit. Plus, fuck LeBron.
We agree. We agree. But part of it is that Jordan never lost.
For sure. But that's just something else.
You can never
that's just
say
like the
once
cherry
you
on top
add.
That's the cherry on top of his legacy. He has 1,000 other fucking accomplishments.
Because but that adds to the he never lost because you couldn't beat him in this. And I would love to believe that, but if you lose that argument, then you lose the ability to say that. I'm just saying it
but you don't have to even argue it. Like,
it weakens the argument.
For me,
weakens it.
For me, once the fact that not only did LeBron lose the finals, but also he got swept in the finals, that automatically kills the argument for me. Like, I'm done arguing about that's it. He got swept in the finals after he joined a super team and went up against one All-Star. That's it. Maybe 2. Maybe there was 2 All-Stars on that Mavericks team, but they fucked him up, and that's it. Now you can't be in the running. You got swept 4 games, boom, 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 in the finals with All-Stars that you decided to join.
But this isn't
the argument is over.
This isn't only his argument.
Everybody else acknowledges
this is a defending MJ in any of it, right? Like, I don't know.
The only people who they put up against him for GOAT is LeBron right now.
Once you add any number other than 0 to after the 6 or the 7 it's no longer I can say he's an undefeated.
What? That's your scenario. I don't think there would be a 1. I think that number would stay 0.
I do too. But I'm saying I don't know that I would be willing to lose that ability as a fan. In hindsight,
I would bet on it, not losing it. Like if they were like Vegas odds, put 5 stacks.
Here's
on
the
this.
thing. Here's maybe a thing. Maybe they don't go against Houston.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. MJ was also at his prime, and I'm a MJ.
The playoff picture looks different.
Adam knows how big of an MJ fan I am. Like, very, very big. But like at the same time, I would hate to see it. Because 5 in a row, imagine trying to win 5 championships.
With anybody else, I wouldn't entertain this scenario, and I really didn't even want to entertain it with you.
Well, I think it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just certain things that not sure of a lot in life, but there's certain things that I hold on to that I'm pretty comfortable with. Like I don't see a way to be convinced otherwise in some of it.
All right, well, that's fine.
How far have we gone? Because I know we did like a beginning here.
52 minutes.
52. All right. I think we brought up like man cleaning like very long ago, and then we just kind of went to some other directions.
Cleaning in general.
Yeah. Well, you said cleaning as a man before we brought it up here.
So I was a man, I was cleaning yesterday. So this is the perspective of a man who was cleaning. So yesterday I went to the garage because I was like, damn, it's probably one of the last really nice days these next couple of days. Today's going to be nice too.
A little chilly, but yeah.
And I was like, I got to do some shit outside and put the furniture away from the patio and mow the grass one last time, that type of thing. Went into the garage. I was like, I want to clean this up real quick. I had some old stuff I wanted to put into a box so it doesn't get ruined.
Say word.
And then I looked in the corner and there was a rat that had been dead there for some time. I could tell. I was like, fuck. And it's funny because I backed up. I was like, ugh. And I looked across the alley because my neighbor was out cleaning her garage. And it was quite like the part in How High.
Both saw a rat?
It was like in How High when he's like, got blunt, got weed. They looked and they laughed. They were like, I was like, I think I just saw it was like a dead rat. They're like, yeah, we just had one too. That's why we were cleaning right now.
Damn, man.
So I was cleaning it up.
Clean up these city streets.
Yeah.
It's a fucking diabolical nastiness out there.
So I cleaned it up completely. Our alley's pretty clean and whatnot, but I mean, I guess
it's true. I've been there. I saw it.
So I cleaned out the garage for like an hour and a half, 2 hours yesterday. I mean, I was going hard on. Like, I just wanted to. I wanted to leave less space to be blocked, right? Like because they like to travel perimeters of things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
But,
man. It's fucking things.
Fucking disgusting.
Nasty.
I was like, God damn it. So I cleaned out the garage yesterday.
So you got into some
I did a
man
lot of some grown up shit.
That's technically man cleaning because listen, I'm sure unless it's like a woman who owns the house on her own. No
was a
offense
woman
to you,
doing
but
it-
I'm
it was
sure
a
that most
woman
of the
doing-
time the man is cleaning out the garage.
There was a woman doing it yesterday.
Does she live there by herself?
She's a police officer too. But
That changes nothing about
yeah,
how I feel about her. Yeah. So, well, okay. I think that really just started because, like I was talking about my getting everything cleaned in here. We got some curtains.
Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to just like feel like
I told you.
real sanitized, right? I cleaned the dog, I cleaned the bathroom. I jumped in the shower, was doing laundry the whole time, and in between all that, was like, I just want to feel like this thing is fucking pristine, you know. And it felt that way. I slept like a baby. Shit was nice. Nothing like sleeping in fresh, clean bedding, man.
Not at all. I remember the day I got my new bed. We bought new bedding, washed that shit, put it on, and man, that was like a great night's sleep, man.
Yeah, nothing like the first night in your new bed. You know?
Oh, that new mattress is fire.
Like, oh, fuck my old bed. This shit was amazing.
I think a new mattress is one of the most underrated adult purchases you can make.
I feel like I should start just buying like a new bed every year. And then not get rid of the old ones, just keep them. That should be a collection. I want all the beds.
It seems like a lot.
It might be a little bit, you know. It might be a little
What are
bit
you
too
gonna do?
much.
Just stack them?
Just stack them.
What was that? That used to be a thing back in the day, right? We used to watch them like stack like not watch them, but like on TV or cartoons or something.
Yeah.
Then they have like 12 They'd be like, oh,
Jumping off the roof and shit onto the mattresses. I would just basically turn
that
this
was
whole thing
Jackass.
into a
That
mattress
was a whole
room.
other era.
I just put like mattresses on the beds and then against the wall. You know, just make the room comfortable.
Sounds like a padded room.
It technically is, but not with the same intentions. You
Yeah,
know?
but it's same thing. Same thing, sir. Same thing.
All right, well, let's not do that then, I guess, because I don't really need that here. At least not in my opinion.
I mean, it's not my opinion either.
But yeah, so, no, that was with the cleaning experience. And then, I do like the normal Sunday thing. Do you have like a routine, like days of the week that you get most of your cleaning done, for instance, or
Sundays I like to make sure I'd like to dust my room, wipe all the surfaces down, sweep it, like mop it a little bit, try to do the bedding,
Definitely.
reset it that way because other than that, the rest of the house kind of like as time goes. Like tonight, I'll go home. I'll make sure we got. I'll do the dishes because Vivi's does the meal prep. So again, that's the. I don't cook, and this way she don't want to do dishes. I don't want to cook.
Do you put on music while you're cleaning?
Yeah, I usually. But like if I'm doing dishes, I'll usually knock out podcast. Because I'll like stand there and I'll have the phone kind of propped up. I'll have like a Bluetooth speaker. I'll just listen to that.
Interesting.
If I'm cleaning a house, I'll bump some shit. Depends on what I'm doing. Depending on what time it is too.
True. I'm gonna get most of my cleaning done in the morning, but it's not like I still put on rap music. There are times, of course, you give the nod to pops type of shit and do like the '80s classic rocks, and then mom do a little Shania Twain cleaning. I might throw one song in there here and there, but for sure I need like some kind of music. Especially if I'm doing like I'm going at it. It's gonna be like an hour.
Yeah,
2
you
hours
gotta
of this
accompany
shit.
what you're doing with some sort of like soundtrack.
Yeah,
Soundtrack to life.
soundtrack is a good term for it.
Yeah. You gotta change this DMX thing for the 200th. We should try.
You never know what's gonna happen on
do
episode number 200 of Kasson Avenue.
Switch everything up.
You never know what you might
Change
find.
the cast. Like I'm saying,
change
I'm
the
Osama.
cast.
I'm Adam. And like, no, you're not.
So like some other people would play
Just to
us.
fuck with people for a little bit.
That like when
This is what you've been seeing the whole time, and just change it all.
like when Jim came dressed as Dwight.
He's
cost me
"That's
$7 for
That's racist.
Yeah. So all right, well I think we gave y'all enough, man, and I don't really have anything else important to say. So,
Free.
Palestine.
Word. Go ahead and hit that damn.
Free it.
Hit that drop.
Yes, indeed. Thank you all for tuning in to Kasson Avenue, a YouTube web series Episode number 197. It just is what it is. All right, it's that. You know? Thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead and please hit subscribe, hit that like button. Helps out getting some exposure, which what we really need at this point in time.
Yeah, man.
Tell your friends because that also helps. And
I would love to be in the position that we might be able to get canceled. Like,
yeah, man.
Like, I don't want to be canceled, but like,
yeah, because that'd be accompanied by "fuck you." We ain't can't, you know. Like,
yeah,
you can't
cancel
really
these
do that
nuts,
shit.
bitch.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll see y'all 198
Later.
Peace.